Hi, welcome into our tight hamstrings gentle yoga. It's shaped by Kate. Today we're going to get started on our backs on our yoga mat. You can take any comfortable position. I won't be cueing in any props, but of course you can add those in if you'd like. Starting to set that awareness and focus for today. Maybe you're more focused on the physical aspect or the mental aspect, or maybe both. On your inhale, let's tuck the knees into our chest and just gently hug the knees into our body. On that next inhale, go ahead and hug the right knee in and extend the left leg out. Inhale to hug the knee in even closer, and then exhale, sweep that right knee across your body, finding a supine spinal twist. First twist of the day, so you can find any intensity you'd like. Be gentle in this pose as we're breathing. Notice how this feels for that outer hip and your outer hamstring muscle. On your next inhale, we're going to shift that knee back to our chest, still using the same leg. We're going to wrap our fingertips around the back of our leg, either above or below the knee. And then on your exhale, you're going to straighten that leg and then just firmly press the heel to straighten it. Gotta keep bending and straightening that leg. Just flossing through those hamstring muscles, opening up that backside. Flexing the foot as you straighten, pointing the toe as you flex the knee. Good, hug that knee in and just let it drop to the outer edge, finding a supine half frog pose. Just find that for a half breath or two, and then hug in the left knee into your chest. Inhale to hug it in even closer, and then on your next exhale, let's sweep left knee across our body. Find the other side supine spinal twist, also known as the biceps femoris stretch. Since we are on our backs, you can also close your eyes here. Closing your eyes, is that all uncomfortable? You can just let that gaze drift off your nose. Beautiful twist. Let's inhale, bring that left knee back to center, hug it into your chest. Lace the fingers behind your leg, point the toe, and then as you straighten it, flex the foot. Rebend the knee. Rather than thinking about straightening the leg, think more about pressing that heel out and pressing the back of your knee to the front of your mat. Last one, hug the knee into the chest and let it drop to the left side of your mat, finding supine half frog. And then when you're ready, lengthen that left leg next to the right. Tuck both knees into the chest and find happy baby pose, knees coming to the armpits. If you're still feeling cold, maybe your hands come to your ankles instead of your feet. Wherever you're at, maybe you add rocking side to side. On your breath out, slowly bring the heels together while still holding on to your feet. Once the heels come together, release your hands, bring the soles of the feet to the ground, and then let's sit up from this pose and find tabletop position. Widen out that stance, curl the toes under. Let's find downward facing dog. Finding any movement that feels comfortable for you so you can lift and lower those heels, bend and lengthen the knees. Notice what your body is internally asking you for, any movement or stillness. If it feels nice, bend both knees and shift those hips back, and then lengthen the legs. Just adding a bit more intensity to those hamstrings. And then once those legs are straight, let's lift the heels high, lift one foot off the ground, and slowly shift it forward. Shift the other leg forward until you come up into a forward fold. At any point, you can lift your hands off the ground or bend the knees as you fold over, finding Uttanasana. Let that head hang heavy. Inhale to a halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. Bring that weight to your toes, shift forward, almost maybe lifting your heels, and then exhale, fold back over, maybe this time deeper. Inhale to rise, find your mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back and down. At your exhale, find a half lift, hinge at your waist. Press the tailbone back. And then slowly start to fold over once you reach your lowest hinge point. Plant your palms on the ground, and then let's step back into our downward facing dog, pedaling out those heels. Maybe you try pressing the heels to the earth. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the right heel up to the sky, three-legged dog. And then bend the knee, bring that right knee to your nose, set the right foot down. And then we're just going to step that back foot forward, find a pyramid pose. Arms can stay down on the ground. When you're ready, drop your head low, let it hang heavy. If you're wanting a more imbalanced position, close your eyes. Release your arms onto your lower spine or wrap them around the front leg. There's no pushing or straining here, so if you find bent knees, that's also an option. Inhale to your halfway lift. And then exhale back to a fold, finding a deeper fold. Good. Walk those hands forward, lift that left leg, and then step it into your forward fold. Step back into downward facing dog. Let's head to the other side. On your inhale, lift that left heel off the ground, three-legged dog. Bend at the knee, tuck it into your chest, set that foot down, bend the back leg, and just gently step it forward, finding pyramid pose. Good, maybe this side's a little bit easier or harder. You can keep finger pads on the earth, or you can take out the hands completely. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out that back, intensifying any stretch in those hamstrings, shifting forward. Exhale to lower down, forward fold. Walk your hands up your mat, lift that right leg, and then step into a normal forward fold. Beautiful. Find a half lift here before we head into downward facing dog. Flatten those palms against the mat, step the toes back. And then let's start on that first side again. Inhale that right heel up to the sky, three-legged dog. Open up your hips. Think about stacking the right hip on top of the left. Sweep right knee to right elbow. And then sweep it over to the left elbow. Extend your right leg, and you're going to pivot that back heel down and then lower the hips to the earth. So now we have our supine spinal stretch, but this time it's prone. So that right leg can be bent or straightened, and then you can walk forearms down to the earth to intensify that stretch. You don't have to stay here in your chosen pose. You can shift in and out however you'd like, depending on how that stretch is feeling for your right hip. This is also a great pose if you have those blocks to set them under your chest or forehead. If you don't have props like me, you can stack two fists on top of each other and rest your forehead there. If you're not quite feeling the stretch, even with your chest on the ground, think about pressing that right leg into the earth. So just activating that side a little bit more. If this is at all too uncomfortable, you can come back to just the normal supine spinal twist. Alright, coming out of this pose the same way we came in, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, and then lift that right leg off the ground, bend the knee, sweep it back to three-legged dog, and then set it back down to your downward facing dog. Let's head to the other side. Left leg reaches up, left knee to left elbow, over to the right, extend the leg, and then set those hips down. And notice how I'm twisting more towards the top left corner of my mat to really find that twist. You can even come off your mat if that feels nice. Be mindful that left side doesn't mirror right side. It can look completely different, maybe with a straight leg or bent knee. Maybe this side feels a little bit more relaxed. Beautiful work finding one inhale to exhale, coming back to your palms. Once the palms find the earth, lift the hips off the ground, pivot back onto your back toes, lift the leg off the ground, and then find three-legged dog to down dog. Walk or hop your feet to a forward fold and release your head. Inhale to your halfway lift, lengthen out the spine. And then let's heel toe the feet together, exhale, fold. For this fold, I want your hands wrapped around the backs of your Achilles and pressing your belly into your thighs. If you can't do that, bend your knees. And then on your inhale, keep your hands where you are and your belly, find a half lift, bending the knees as much as you're able to get to that point. And then keeping the belly pressed against the thighs, exhale to fold and try to straighten your legs as much as possible, using your hands to help aid you as you pull your body closer to your legs. Option to stay there, or you can do it a second time if you feel a little bit more open, finding that half lift to fold. Maybe this time your forehead presses to your knees or shins. And release the hands, plant them on the earth. Step back into your down dog. In our downward facing dog, let's lift both heels as high as you're able. Exhale, press them down firmly against the earth. It's okay if they don't touch, and maybe you even wrap one ankle around the other, adding more weight to one leg. And switching sides if you chose to do this pose. Beautiful, then stepping your feet wide, let's slowly lower to our knees and find a wide-legged child's pose. You can also find normal child's pose if this is uncomfortable at all. Just releasing those inner thighs, releasing the spine. Next, inhale, rise up to your tabletop pose. And then let's sweep those legs around, come into a seated position. And then let's roll down onto our backs. Your bottom leg can be bent or straightened. We're going to lengthen the left leg to the sky. Wrap your hands above or below the knee. When you're ready, we're going to activate that leg into our hands. So on the exhale breath, press that hamstring into your hands. Hands press back with just as much force. Keep pressing here for about 8 to 10 seconds. And then we're going to release that pressure and just hug that leg into our chest. Maybe you can hug it in a little bit deeper. Start to gently bend the knee, hug that left knee into your chest. Beautiful. Other side. Lengthen the right leg to the sky, clasp hands behind the leg. Maybe you point and flex that toe in between. And then when you're ready, on that exhale breath, press that leg into your hands. Hands press back. You may even see a little bit of shaking back and forth. That's okay. Keep pressing, pressing, and pressing. And release. Hug that leg into your chest just a little bit closer. When you're ready, you can start to slowly keep pressing that leg into your chest as you bend the knee, hug it into your belly, and release the legs down. Let's end how we started. Practice finding happy baby pose. Maybe this time, rather than your ankles, you're reaching the hands to your feet. And then adding more pressure, we're going to release the hands and then wrap them under and around the calf. So now our hands are on the outside and under our leg. If you can't reach, you can just also hold on to your ankles. So now your elbows can help press those knees towards the earth, as if your goal was to actually press the knees to your yoga mat. If at any point it gets too tingly or too painful, then you can just release and come into a normal happy baby pose. We're only going to find a few more rounds of breath in this pose. Really find that sinking feeling into your yoga mat. Starting to release any tension in the facial muscles, any tension in the shoulders and the hips. When you're ready, start to unwind. Slowly let the heels come together, release the hands. Rock the knees side to side to release any tension. And then start to lengthen the legs along your mat, finding traditional Savasana pose. If there's any modification, take your time here. Find 3 inhales to 3 exhales. Breathing out the mouth if that helps you find more relaxation. And I leave you here in Savasana. Start to wake up from your Shavasana, adding any small or large movements. You can stay on your spine or roll off to the side in fetal pose, taking about 1 to 3 rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, finding a seated position, hands coming to heart center. Take this moment to send gratitude towards yourself for moving today and practicing yoga. And then bowing yourself forward again as gratitude. Namaste.